Oh, what's that, Pointy? Oh, I knew that, because I'm a scientist. Hello, my name is Evan Watterson. Now, for our fun fact. Do you know what living animal today is related to dinosaurs? It is not a crocodile, not even a lizard, but it is a bird. Can you believe that birds are actually related to dinosaurs? Modern birds came from theropods long ago. It's a type of dinosaur. If you want to learn more about how birds are related to dinosaurs, you should get this book. It's called Dinosaurs Are Not Extinct. Wow. Have you ever wondered how glass bowls are made? That's not the only thing that can be made out of glass. Fancy glass art, like this pumpkin in my hands. But how is it made? It's through the ancient art of glass blowing. It started 4,000 years ago in Mesopotamia in ancient Rome. Most glass in your house is made by machines, like this glass cup and even this glass jar. Still have got glass blowers who are called gaffers. It's the same process that they used 4,000 years ago. Glass is made from sand, limestone, soda ash, and pot ash in extremely high heat. If you really want to know about glass blowing, then you have to talk to an expert. Luckily, I've got a friend named Tyler Kimball. He works at Monarch Studio in Kansas City. He let me go into his hot shop to help with a pull. A pull is when you pull glass on an end of a rod with tweezers. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me, Evan. My pleasure.
Okay. How hot are glass furnaces?
Our working temperature is around 2,100 degrees. That's not so hot that we can't get it out, and not so cold that it's too gooey.
If it's that hot, then I don't think you should put pizzas in there. It will just evaporate and burn into ashes.
Yeah, that probably would be true. That's a good one.
Doesn't it get so hot that it melts your rod?
The beauty of the marriage between glass and steel is that steel is a conductor and it wants to give off the heat, and glass is an insulator and it wants to take the heat. So when we are heating that glass on the end of that iron, the iron heats up and then it gives it to the glass. We didn't come up with it, somebody 2,000 years ago came up with it, but it sure does work well. And then we have all of our reheating equipment around 23 to 2,400 degrees. So it's a little hotter so that we can heat up that glass real fast and continue working on the glass.
because if the glass is cooled too quickly, it'll shatter.
That's correct, yeah. Yep, thermal shock.
There's only one thing I know how to keep glass cooling too quickly, is reheating it in a glory hole.
It actually comes from when there's like a sunburst coming through clouds on a rainy day. That's also known as a glory hole. And so it's the bright spot that is going through. But you're exactly right. We have to reintroduce the glass in that reheating chamber as we're working, or else the glass will get too cold and break.
I know how the glass is cooled in the annealing oven, but how hot is it?
So when we're finished with a glass piece and we like it and we want to keep it, we've got to put it into an oven that holds around 900, 950 degrees, depending on the formula of glass we're using. And we'll have that annealing oven on all day. And right at there around 900, 950 degrees, we can continue to load stuff into that box. It's not going to get so cold and crack, but also not be too hot so that it starts to move again. And depending on how thick the glass is really how long we need to anneal the glass for. The longest I've ever had to anneal a piece, it was a 105-pound piece, and it was annealed for 30 days.
That is crazy. How quickly do you need to get the glass into the annealing oven?
That's a good question, Evan. It depends on the size and the weight of the glass, the thickness again. Sometimes myself and my team are actually waiting for that glass to cool down before we put it into the annealer. Other times it's a race to get it in there. So knock, knock.
Who's there?
Door. Get the door. Door. Now, get the door. Door. Because when it's real hot and you're coming out of the reheating chamber and you need a door, you need your assistant to get that door right away.
What kind of tools do you know? I only know half.
There's a lot of different hand tools that we use as glass blowers, and they've all been passed down over the years. A lot of the designs of those hand tools haven't changed for about 2,000 years. So the jacks, Evan, which are kind of like our main tool, and that's where we'll squeeze in the neckline, where we'll use the sides of the blades to shape. That's our number one tool. Also tweezers, but they're not like the kind of tweezers you might find in your own home. They're about this large.
Like the ones that I use with the pole. What other ways can you shape glass?
Well, so heat and air, that's a lot of the ways. And some of the best ways are like gravity. Gravity is one of our best employees of shaping glass. But also, if you believe it, an old newspaper is one of our best ways to shape. And I like to say we're shaping tomorrow's glass with yesterday's news. But yeah, a newspaper, a little bit of water on that newspaper.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, and that's the closest thing we can do to actually shaping it with our hand.
Well, if you have glass that's very hot, when you just put the paper on, it would burn immediately.
Yeah, that's why the water's there. It kind of that little layer of steam. But also, what happens when paper burns or wood burns? It actually creates a carbon. Carbon is great for shaping glass. It's this nice, smooth thing that's not going to stick to the glass, and so that it's really the burnt paper that we're using. And that's actually was created by the Swedes a long, long time ago. And they're really into paper and wood, wood molds, things like that. And then all the metal items like the steel marver that will roll, those came from Roman times, where they were really heavy into the metals for shaping. I've got a question for you, Evan. Who's your favorite glass artist?
You.
All right, that's nice. Who else do you like?
I like Julie. How long does it take to be a professional glass blower?
It takes a long time, but I never stopped learning. So I think of myself as always being able to be better than I was the day previous. So every day I'm learning something new, and that will continue on for the rest of my career. Yeah, I got another question for you. When are you going to come and blow glass again with me? Huh?
Maybe way after COVID, like I'm 18, 19 or so, where you're kind of old, and I'll blow glass with you. That'll be my job. I hope to see you in Kansas City soon.
I hope to see you too. Come by the studio anytime you're in Kansas City.